Hello, I'm Scott Bogey, but here with Aidan Stephen, ahead of his Cage Warriors 187 fight against Jordy Bakkes. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Fight week, another fight week. Love it. I just can't wait for fucking Saturday just to get back in that cage, man. It's been too long.
Exactly, not just back in the cage, but back in your home soil as well. You're here in Scotland. How does that feel to be able to put on a show in front of your home fans?
Honestly, that show last year was one of the best moments of my life. I can't wait to recreate it. It's gonna be bigger and better. Well, words can't describe how much it means to me. Like every time you see me fight on Cage Warriors, I've always got that Scotland flag. I have it
Yeah.
with me everywhere I go. I'm so proud to, fight in front of my countrymen. Come on, let's go.
We can just see how excited you are. Is that what pushes you over the to the next level in the cage? Is the fact that you have the Scottish crowd behind you, they're cheering you on, and that just pushes you, or can you not really hear them once you're in that cage?
Oh, you can hear them. You can't even hear your name getting announced. It's that loud. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fighting on home soil is definitely a huge advantage. I always used to think sometimes it would go against you with the pressure, but it's the complete opposite. It just gives you that massive boost.
and then with that win last time in home style, you were able to push yourself into that prize fighter tournament. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way, but how was that fight for you?
You know what? It went well at certain points.
Yeah.
That second round, I got caught with like 10 seconds to go in the second round. I could have maybe took it to a third round. Um, but yeah, it was. What I mean. You win some, you
Yeah.
lose some. Um, I think I showed in that fight that there's absolutely no quitting in me.
Yeah.
Most people would have quit for the punishment I took in the first round, but I was just ready to get back up and hit him back, and um, it was obviously disappointed. I put a lot of pressure on myself and I put a lot into that fight camp, but it happens, man. I'm not going to be unrealistic. You win some, you lose some, and you know, obviously this weekend I'm going to win some.
Exactly. And what is it about Jordy's style that you think you're going to be able to be able to unleash your amazing offense onto?
Yeah, so like when you get to Cage Warriors, there's no
Yeah.
easy fights anymore. Everyone's super talented. I really like him. I really like his fighting style. He's pretty good everywhere. He's a black belt in judo. Good takedown defense, good takedowns. He's seen in the last few of his fights, he can dictate where the fight
Yeah.
goes. His striking's really good. He switch hits from both sides. So I think it's not that I think there's anything in his game that's that I can exploit or that I'm going to capitalize on. I just
Yeah.
think I've worked much harder than he has, and um, you know, like some of my fights, I will just find that breaking point.
Yeah. And is this is a catweight at 140. Was there any particular reason for that? Because I know this fight got announced. It was kind of like the first fight for the card.
Yeah, I think Jordan's a little bit small for featherweight, so he's actually he. I think he had spoke to Ian Dean about coming down to featherweight. Hey, coming down to bantamweight, sorry. And I've not fought for nearly a year now.
Yeah.
I got a really bad staph infection. I ended up putting on lots of weight with the medication, and rather than just cut all the way back down to bantamweight, Ian Dean suggested this fight at like a catch weight just to see how we get on. Looking at it now, I wish I'd just gone to bantamweight because the weight cut was super easy, always is.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Um, I'm looking forward to cutting 2 kilograms less than normal. Yeah, that'll be nice. And it's his. Well, I don't know if Jordan's fought at this weight before, but I know he's not fought at this weight, anytime recently. So, he's coming into my weight class,
Yeah.
and it's going to be tough for him because the cut's hard, and he's not exactly. that small. He was a bit, he was a small featherweight, but he's going to be a big bantamweight. But it's going to be a tough cut for him.
Exactly. And it just looks like just on the outskirts, Scotland has got a lot of talented bantamweights in their ranks. You also have you have Reese who is on this card. I think Kier who's on this card as well. What is
Hmm
it about Scotland and producing these talented bantamweights?
Yeah, we're all midgets. We're all midgets. So, nah, just Reese and Kier obviously come from two absolutely unbelievably, talented gyms,
Yeah,
amazing coaching. That's definitely the key is the coaching. Obviously, the work ethic that those two have as well is what's got them there. Yeah, we've produced some pretty awesome guys over the few years, and then like Paul McBain's fighting,
yeah.
Scott Malone's not fighting, but we've still got him. He'll still make an appearance soon, and yeah, it's just a crazy, crazy talent. And then obviously Sean Clancy Jr. My God, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He'll be in the UFC within the next year, I'd imagine. So, this is amazing that people actually get to witness his rise.
Is
Just
Scott
buzzing to be a part of it.
is Scott Malone not fighting? I thought he was meant to fight, and wasn't it Daniel Bainbridge?
I've not seen anything. Maybe he is. I haven't seen but if he is fighting, that'd be amazing
Yeah.
because I love watching him fight, and he's obviously one of the OGs coming out of Scotland. So if he is fighting, that's amazing. I never knew that.
And what is it about, like, what's your picture on the bantamweight title just now? Obviously, it did get announced. I think last week, Gittins will be facing Alexandro in a rematch to what it was in Italy. However, Sherzad won that prize fighter tournament and was guaranteed that title shot. He wasn't given it in Rome because of Ramadan. Should he not have got that title shot opportunity in Manchester?
Yes, 100%. We all knew how that fight was going with Gittins.
Yeah,
Alexandro gave up. I mean, there's no
yeah.
easy way to say it. And I don't want to sound like a dick when I say it because he's a very good fighter, and I spoke to him at Prize Fighter, and he's a nice guy as well. But
Yeah,
you know, I didn't. I just think he took the easy way out. So to get a rematch, when he was getting a beating, I don't understand it. But it is
but
what it is. I can only focus on myself and what's going on just now. Obviously, I think the winner of Reese and Wesley Maya will be next in line for the title after that. I realise I'm still a couple of fights away from it. So just now I just need to focus on getting the wins together before I start calling for that title shot.
will potentially, like you're saying, Wesley, whenever that gets a title shot, you can maybe get a fight on that card against Sherzad, number one contender fight.
Yeah, that is the beauty of Cage Warriors, is like sometimes you're only one fight away from a
Yeah,
title shot, depending on injuries and who's getting the title shot, and guys getting signed to the UFC. There's always opportunities, and yeah, like this year, I've had a really active year so far with grappling tournaments and stuff.
yeah.
I just want to do the same. Obviously, I wanted to do the same last year, but with staff. So um, touch wood that I don't get it again this year. But yeah, I'm looking to go again like June or July. Yeah, I'd love that, like that top five. I don't want to. Again, I'm not being cocky or anything. Just
No,
confidence in myself. If you don't have confidence, I don't see what the point of being here is. But I genuinely think I can beat every single person in this division. I'm sure they all feel the same. But like I say, I'll just focusing on Jordy just now. Once I've beat him, then we'll look who's next.
and what is the celebration once you win? After you beat Jordy, how are you going to celebrate? Is it going out for a few drinks? Is it going to a restaurant and just eating? What is it?
So like I used to love going out with all my friends after and having a big piss up and getting hammered. But I'm an old man now. My body can't take it. Uh, and like obviously I've got three children now. Like
Yeah,
my ideal thing is just to get home to them and spend time with them. There will always be other occasions for partying, but
yeah,
like you've got to take every opportunity with your kids that you can.
exactly. And how big is having Cave Warriors being able to come to Scotland? I think it's like 2 times a year now for us Scottish fighters being able to get that opportunity to showcase our ability on the big stages.
Yeah, we never had it for 10 years. So um, I think a lot of the talent like kind of slid under the radar
Yeah,
at that point. But look at the guys we're producing just now. Look at the
yeah,
guys that are on this card, and then there's guys in the gyms that are like amateurs. You know what I mean? With
yeah,
more skills than when I first turned professional because they've got the training partners now and they've got the proper coaching. I've got a guy in my gym who's only just turned 18 and I can promise you he'll be in the UFC. I can promise you he'll, go on to do massive things, but he's only 18. It's crazy. When I was 18, you don't even want to know what I was up to when I was 18. You know what I mean? I love that it can come to Scotland, it's great for the fans as well. When I was
yeah.
fighting in London all the time, and my friends were paying crazy flights, crazy prices for flights to London all the time, and it was like, oh, you know what I mean? It was a shame. I felt bad for them having to spend all that money just to come see me fight, whereas now it's just a 4 hour drive.
And I know they can't do this because the prize fighter tournament is random, but how big of an opportunity was missed by having Sean Clancy Jr. being the reserve fight and not in the actual tournament when they did come to Glasgow last year in September?
Yeah, listen, it made absolutely no sense to me, um, especially the guys that went on to the final.
Yeah.
Sean would have finished pretty easily. It's,
O'Neill's not even
it's,
in the weight
it's
class anymore.
yeah, exactly, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, it really was a missed opportunity from Cage Warriors, but at the same time, it was random. It sucks, but it is what it is. But at the same time, Sean got another year in the gym to improve.
Yeah.
And after this weekend, after he caves this guy's skull and that he'll be going for the title shot. And then there's no denying him that UFC contract, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And do you feel like having guys like Paul Craig being able to take him over with him to the UFC, being able to give him that exposure, get him into maybe getting one of those contacts with Sean Shelby, Mick, that's going to help him as well in the future, being able to get that UFC contract.
Yes, 100%. It's written in the stars for Sean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's just fallen into place. His coach has done a phenomenal job, not only just training him up, but maturing him as an adult, getting him in that mindset. If you hear Sean speak, like, God, I wish I spoke about myself when I was that age, the way he does, you know what I mean? Um, it's just, yeah, the sky's the limit for him. Just buzzing to watch, just buzzing to see it happen before my eyes, and get to fight in the same kind of shows as him before. I reckon I've got, another 5 years fighting left in me. It's not that
And
it's not that I don't think that I've got time left to fight. Everyone's got time, but there'll
yeah,
get a point where, time with my children is going to be more important than training. And
yeah.
then if you're not 100% in this game, you're in the wrong game because this sport will take your soul.
And how long do you feel like it will be until you start seeing multiple fighters in that UFC? You're from Scotland. You already have Paul Craig who's going back to light heavyweight. Now we can't. I know we are Scottish fans are biased, but Magomedov, you've not been able to beat Paul Craig, give him that title shot. And then
Exactly.
you also have got Chris Duncan, who just beat Jordan Vucenic at UFC London. So how long do you feel like it'll be before we see multiple fighters from Scotland in the UFC?
I just think within the next year, Sean will be there. I'd love to see Mark Ewan and
Yeah.
Lorenzo Parente there. Um, yeah, just looking around just now, man. There's so many people it could be. Um, I think higher level have really set that standard of where you need to be, and yeah, give it 5 years time. I reckon we'll have at least 10 fighters in the UFC from Scotland.
And you kind of touched on it earlier about you doing grappling tournaments, but how has that been? I know you're at the ADCC Sterling.
Yeah, it's just keeping my mind busy,
Yeah.
and I'm a brown belt, obviously chasing that black belt now, so I'm just wanting to keep as busy as possible. I love it when I win and I get to take my medal home to my children and they get to wear it and goof about with it for a day. But it's been good because the guys that I've been grappling are unbelievable. I don't ever
Yeah.
remember facing people this good. That last one, he was very close to submitting me actually. And I was like, no, not like this, because it was only a couple hours away from home, so I had a good support, and I managed to brave it, and I caught him later on. But just keeping busy, man. I don't know why I've not been doing this more. It keeps your mind in a positive place.
Yeah.
It keeps your body in a positive place because you're keeping fit, and I definitely think just you know it's the key is like it's keeping active is the key to keeping your body in check. It's been some year already. This will be my third competitive outing so far this year. I'm looking to get at least 10 by the end of the year.
And then obviously the UFC, they are doing their part in trying to highlight the grappling stage a bit more with the UFC Fight Pass, their invitational. You've got them signing Mikey to an exclusive grappling contract with the Fight Pass. How big do you feel like their influence will be in the sport?
Yeah, you know what I mean. How long till jiu-jitsu's in the Olympics?
Yeah,
You watch you watch these Polaris shows and stuff like that. It's unbelievable because like 10 years ago jiu-jitsu was it's not that it wasn't nothing. It just had no exposure. No one really knew what it was. Look at it now. Everyone's doing it. It's amazing. Yeah, it's definitely another 10 years time it'll be a bigger sport than judo and stuff like that. Um, like seeing other people in my gym, it's amazing seeing different ages, boys, girls, men, women, different body types, whether guys are a little bit fat or guys are a little bit skinny. You know, it's brilliant just seeing everyone come together. And one of the things I love most about my gym is how none of these people have ever met each other before, but they're all best friends because they've
yeah.
all got the same ambition. I mean, if I could have started 10 years earlier, I would have. Definitely, when my kids get to like a certain age, I'll definitely try and push them towards jiu-jitsu. And if they want to, go to MMA or kickboxing or something, that's their decision. I'll let them make it, but I'll never force that on them. I'll let that be their decision because, I mean, it's some of the sports I've been through in my life from fighting. It's tough.
Yeah.
It takes a lot on your mind, takes a lot of your body. But at the same time, I wouldn't change any of it. It's made me the person I am today, and it's made me tougher. And it's definitely opened up my eyes to how things can be. So
And am I correct in saying that you are currently, your gym is SPG Moray?
yeah,
And how has that been for, like, what's the current environment? Is there a lot of guys in training camp just now? So you're not really looking for training partners, that difficulty? Or or is it just more a small group just now?
it's a massive group, but the majority of the guys there, are there to get fitter and there to
Yeah,
help their teammates. We've got it's being like 100% honest, it's more of a jiu-jitsu gym. Like the guys from that gym, don't get me wrong, the jiu-jitsu is very high level. Every competition we go to, we always come home with like more golds than most gyms. We've got a very good jiu-jitsu team. There's only two of us fighting MMA just now. We've got a few guys fighting kickboxing and Muay Thai, but like the MMA, we don't really have. It's just me and that 18-year-old Ethan I was telling you about. Do you know how bad it is getting your ass handed to you by an 18-year-old every week? It's it's hard work, man, but at the same time, um, I've noticed massive improvements in him, and I've noticed massive improvements in myself from training with him. Um, yeah, it's mainly a jiu-jitsu gym, but we all help each other out, and we definitely have a good team coming through just now. Give it a couple of years, and we'll definitely have more MMA fighters.
And like you're saying, you are wanting to stay active and potentially fight in June, July. Is it going back to London, get that redemption? Is that on that bucket list?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I want that. I want that win back. Um, the thing just now is just keeping active. If that means jumping between bantamweight and featherweight, I'm cool with that as well. Um, but yeah, I want that fight in London.
So if you're hearing that, Gittins, Harry Hardwick, watch out, Aidan's coming for that double champ status.
They'll be signed to the UFC by then, so there's no need for them to worry about anything.
And you'll be in there, be able to get the vacant slot and then get that title from there.
Yeah, just gotta keep ready, man. Opportunities can come up
Yeah,
at any time.
exactly. And I think that's got shown this weekend at the UFC with Diego Lopez. He stayed ready, he's fought regularly, and he got that title shot within 730 days of being in the UFC. So it does
Amazing.
show that if you stay active, you are getting that reward.
Yeah, man. How good was UFC last night? What a card.
I think it's been talked about as being card of the year.
Yeah, it was so good. Every single fight was brilliant.
And then, if I was going to tell you, you have a blank canvas on 6 days' time, what are you going to get Jordy out with? You can choose anything, a highlight reel knockout, or is that a submission? What is it?
Submission. Always a submission. The thing with
Necktie?
knockouts, the thing
Peru
with
necktie?
knockouts is people will say that if you knock someone out, you got lucky. Whereas if you submit someone,
Yeah.
they are surrendering, they're giving up. So I just always prefer that submission. As for what submission, I don't know, but it's definitely I'm going for his neck.
You're just going to keep that part hidden. You have to
Yeah,
watch on Saturday to find out what submission it is.
exactly.
And what's your take? I know I think it was Paddy the other day talking about it. Are you in favor of people getting choked out to sleep more than tapping? Or would you recommend fighters to tap instead of getting going out?
I definitely recommend tapping. If you're in a position where you need to tap, you fucked up a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially arm bars, heel hooks, like any of them joint locks.
I think
If you don't tap,
I think you're
you're
saying like
gonna.
if arm locks and that you can and like leg heel
Oh,
hooks,
so chokes.
you tap for that but chokes, just let yourself go out cold.
Yeah, like you might not wake back up again. You know what I mean? Yeah, like yeah. There's nothing wrong with tapping out. You fucked up. You ended up in that position. I don't see the difference between tapping out and choking out because going unconscious. Sorry, because you know what I mean. If you don't tap,
Yeah.
you're going to go unconscious anyway. So you'd be as well preventing that.
Well, make sure you tune in next week. Well, obviously next week, this Saturday, when Aidan will be able to choke out his opponent, and it's a great night of fights that you do not want to miss out on. Is there anything you're wanting to add or any shout outs you're wanting to do?
Just my teammates, you know who you are. Thank you for everything. All my sponsors. Um, I'm repping yous all day, every day. Just it's been an amazing 3 months training for this fight, and honestly can't wait. I'll see yous all there.
Gonna be a great night. Make sure you tune in, and you're not gonna want to miss it. Thank you so much.